What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach. Today's subreddit is r/TalesFromRetail. And no, not the kinds of tails you furries wear. This story's called, Is Complaintment a Word? I manage a running specialty store. Our return policy is pretty standard. Within 30 days, unworn, all sale items, final sale. But I basically always give store credit to customers who want to return a sale item, even though strictly speaking, that's against the rules. That's still not good enough for some people. This particular lady, we'll call her Police Adjacent, short for Police Adjacent, for reasons that will become clear, comes in one day and demands to speak with the manager. Always a good sign. She tells me that the last pair of shoes we sold her were way too big and completely wrong for her feet, that my staff member lied to her, and that she wants a full refund. She is carrying neither shoes nor a receipt. I ask Police Adjacent if she has her receipt with her, and she says of course not, as she bought it several months ago and has long since thrown out the receipt. I explain that our return policy is 30 days. She says we have injured her with our poor advice and we should refund her and or replace the shoes with something better. I ask what model she purchased, and when she tells me, I think, well geez, that's a regular price shoe that we still stock. So if they're unworn, I'll do an exchange and or give her store credit just to get rid of her. Note that we make it clear to customers that unworn actually means no visible wear, so it's totally fine to wear them around your house for a bit to make sure they're good. I ask if she's worn the shoes outside, and she looks at me like an idiot. Of course she's worn them outside. How else would she know if they work for her? I explain again our return policy and say that I'm sorry, but it's been more than 30 days and she's worn them outside. There's nothing I can do. Her anger has been simmering since she walked in the store, and now it's begun a cascading nuclear meltdown. She starts yelling at me, first telling me that my staff member lied to her, that a particular model of shoe didn't come in a specific variant. We carry the model, but not the variant. So I explain with as straight a face as I can muster that while my staff are experts in the shoes that we carry, that they can't possibly know everything about every shoe on the market. Then repeatedly saying that her sister is a cop and she's going to be telling said sister about her treatment by our store. I think this was supposed to be a threat, but it was such a complete non sequitur that I again had to struggle not to laugh. Somewhere in this process, I look up her purchase in the computer and find that not only did she buy these shoes 5 months ago, not the 1 or 2 she claimed, they are not the current model she claimed and were in fact last year's, which were on sale. She bought them during one of our biannual blowout sales, which are the only times we enforce the all sale items are final sale rule. We put sign-ups and mention it to all customers before they pay. She still hasn't actually produced the shoes she wants to return. We have exactly 1 till in the store, and at this point, I have other customers waiting to pay. I offer to have my area manager give her a call, but she refuses to leave her contact information and instead wants his. Sorry ma'am, we don't give that information out, was apparently the incorrect answer. The waiting customers are getting fidgety and uncomfortable, completely reasonable, and the staff member, we'll call her Store Mom, short for Store Mom, who had helped them, it's just us 2 working that day, comes over to see what's going on. Store Mom is in her 50s, has been working here longer than anyone else, and is very protective of those of us who are on the younger side. I'm in my early 30s. Me being her manager has no bearing on these facts. Police Adjacent sees Store Mom, immediately assumes she's more in charge, ignores me completely, and begins her complaint from the beginning. By the way, in case you were wondering, her sister is a cop, while disparaging me and my atrocious customer service. Store Mom has Big Mom vibes, and is usually extremely patient and kind, but I can see that Police Adjacent is bringing out her mama bear side. I quickly let her know that I can handle it and send her away. I tell police adjacent again that I unfortunately cannot return her, as yet unseen, shoes, and that if she'd like to leave her information, our area manager will give her a call. She completely ignores me and restarts her complaint cycle. I interrupt her. Ma'am, I understand you're upset, but there's nothing I can do. If you don't want to leave your information, you can also try calling customer service. I can write the number down if you like. Right now, though, I'm gonna have to ask you to move away from the counter as I have other customers waiting to pay. She leaves, cursing and grumbling. Cut to a week later, and my area manager calls me out of the blue to tell me that a customer has called customer service to complain about me. To my great delight, customer service was closed when she called, so she has to leave a voicemail. My area manager plays it for me. In short, police adjacent has the same baseless complaints as she did in the store. Her sister is still a cop and will still hear about this, and she received horrible customer service from the apparent manager who is like 18 years old and will never be shopping at any of our stores again unless they fix this problem for her. The manager was like 18 years old. I'm in my early 30s. I'd like to thank my good genes and my skincare routine for this great honor. Anyway, we didn't do the return, she never came back to our store, and when I'm feeling down about how I look, I stand in front of the mirror and quote her, and it never fails to give me a confidence boost. Oh yeah, and did I mention? Her sister is a police officer. No, I think I missed that very vital information. And you know what they say, if she looks 18, she's good enough for me. I'm kidding, I was gross. Alrighty-roo, this story's called The Weirdest Customer I've Ever Had. Hi! This story took place in an electronic parts retail store. I'm caffeinated right now, by the way. I am quite proud to have specialized myself in both the parts and house audio departments. This story is in the house audio department. Two customers approached in the department. Since they had no distinction from each other, I will refer to them as them. Their demand was rather odd.
We have a party in 5 days and need materials. Lots of it.
At this point, I was the new guy and saw the opportunity to make my first huge sale. Okay, what exactly do you need?
Well, we want lots of huge speakers all linked together.
Okay, sure thing. I sold them 5 $250 speakers plus $70 worth of cables.
At some point during the party, we're gonna have a small band playing.
I sold them a mixing table and 2 microphones with stands for a total of $600. They wanted the best we had.
We'll be playing music from 2 different devices,
laptops,
and it needs to switch from one device to the other at the end of each song.
Why?
Because we want one song to play from my computer, then one song from his,
the other guy,
computer.
Why don't you put both music inside one device into a playlist?
Because I don't want to be stuck with his music on my computer after the party.
Well, you can delete it after the party.
I don't want him to lose his music.
Then make a copy in your computer, then delete the copy.
Sir, let me be more clear. You want your sale? You're at my service.
Well, of course I am. You couldn't be more right. I'm just trying to recommend you the best and cheapest solution, but it does require some effort and work from your side. Big mistake.
Sir, right now, you work for me. We ask you stuff, and you make sure you get what we want.
Sir, I don't work for you. I work for store name. I answer to my boss's demands, which is to serve his customers. I am at your service, but I do not work for you.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked. How can we make sure so that when the song on one device ends, it automatically switches to the other device?
You cannot. You'd have to manually switch the volumes of both inputs from the mixing table. Such a device does not exist, I'm afraid. The best you could do is have someone stationed there to do it.
Like a DJ?
Yes, but since it's just reversing 2 input volumes, no need to hire a DJ. The best solution from the information of what you are willing to do would be to station one of you or your guest to do it.
No, the party is for everyone, including me. I can't be spending all my time at the mixing table just to switch volumes.
Then hire a DJ. My cousin's a part-time DJ. He's good. They actually hired my cousin for this. That's $200 they had to spend on him. He charges $30 an hour, plus transportation.
Okay, how can we know the device from which the song is playing?
Well, you could check directly on the computers or on the mixing table, or by simply recognizing your music from his.
Well, we'll need to add headphones onto the mixing table. If it plays in the left ear, it'll be computer number 1.
Sir, you just need to check which volume is up on the...
Sir, you are at our service. We have a demand, now you find a solution for it.
Sir, what I'm trying to say is that we can only set the pan. Pan is the left-right output to speakers. Most of the time, it's in the middle, so the left speakers are as loud as the right ones. And the pan is for the output. You could use the pan, but Computer 1's music will only play on the left speakers, and Computer 2's music on the right speakers. It's completely ridiculous. Plus, you're hiring a DJ. He could fill you in on that.
We do not know this guy and we don't trust him enough.
But you're hiring him. How can you hire him if you don't trust him?
Well, he doesn't know the material.
Neither do you. You're buying them right now. You've never used them before. My cousin knows this stuff since he recommended my boss buy them for the store. Not true, but I needed a convincing argument. At this point, my friend, who taught me all I know about house audio, came in and just started agreeing with everything he said, just so we could move on. Now came all the audio adapters they needed. They bought $40 worth of adapters. In this store, an adapter costs from 50 cents to $1.50 depending on it. In other words, they bought from 28 to 80 different adapters. They demanded that we test everything before they pay for it. We plugged everything in, and it all worked perfectly. In this store, they have a special policy. If a product was tested in-store, no refund. And if it's audio equipment, no refund. Everything was tested. Their bill got up to $2,400. My first huge sale. I got patted on the back for that. It was the biggest sale I've made when I worked there. The day after their party, they tried to return everything. They claimed that nothing worked. I called my cousin. He said that his first hour of work was spent redoing all the cabling since everything was plugged in the most messed up way possible. My boss spent 2 hours dealing with them, saying that they could not return anything because of the previously mentioned policy. In a strange fit of rage, they left all their purchases at the front door and left the premise. 5 Bluetooth speakers, some cables, lots of adapters, a mixing table, 2 microphones with their stands, and a nice pair of headphones, all barely used. My boss looked at me and said, "Well, since they're considered used, I can only sell them at half the price. But since I technically cashed in on them, I can make you a price." I purchased all this equipment for a quarter of the price, with my 20% employee discount, for a total of $480. A ripoff. I was happy, and the boss was happy. If only they listened when we told them no refund, or read their receipt, which also stated it. If only they weren't so lazy. If only they weren't so arrogant. If only they would have listened to me. And if only they weren't so weird. Maybe they would have paid 50% less and gotten even better result. Sorry for the long story, but I think it's a nice one to tell. Why would they leave it? What? Man, the store made out like freaking people that make out with lots of money. Like, they sold all that stuff, got it back for free, and then sold it again. What? Like that $480 was pure profit. Jeez, they were probably happy about that. Also, think of the commish on that sale. Whew. This story's called Guy Said Her Car Was Only Worth $2,000 Because of a Squeaking Door. Hey guys! Long-time lurker, first-time poster. I used to manage an oil change shop. I was actually working by myself that day as I had the slowest store in the company. I had an older Chinese lady, probably mid to late 60s, pull into my parking lot in a decent-looking car. She spoke some English, but you could tell it wasn't her first language. She seemed upset. Now, this happened at least 8 or 9 years ago, so I don't remember specifically what was said, but this is roughly how it went down. Hi, how are ya?
Can you help me?
Sure, what can I do for you?
Guy said car is junk and will give me $2,000 for it, and I don't know what to do.
So I take a gander outside and see her car. It was a 5 or 6-year-old Volkswagen Jetta. Not new by any means, but looks worth more than $2,000. What's wrong with it?
It's running rough and the door squeaks.
So I take a look under the hood and the mass airflow sensor was unplugged. Plugged it back in and applied some WD-40 to the hinges, started back up, and it runs perfect. I went back inside and told her I fixed it, but I wanted to blue book her car for her so she knew what it was worth. Car came up as being worth about $7,500. I told her that guy was trying to rip you off and not to trust him. She told me that a guy she brought it to told her that the engine was junk and was only gonna get worse, and that her door was about to fall off. Whoever this was clearly saw she knew nothing about her car and would be easy to manipulate, and tried to flip her car for a nice payday. I told her, your car is fine, and if you need anything, you come and see me. She started crying and gave me a hug and went on her way. Didn't charge her a dime. Coolest moment in my many years of customer service. Okay, that is incredibly sweet. That is incredibly wholesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Also, screw that dude for trying to rip her off, because that's messy-wessied up. Alrighty, last up is called It's a Limit of 1. This is a story the assistant manager of my department told me when I came in on Friday or Saturday, and it was too good not to share. For context, we were selling air conditioners at a discounted price of $100 instead of the $139.99 that they are regularly. We only sell these once a year as we're a grocery store, and I believe when we run out until the next year. The ACs were a limit of 1, and at this particular time of the story, we had only 2 left. Nothing's direct quotes, as I wasn't there to witness the event, but it gets the point across. My manager noticed a lady with the last 2 ACs in her cart, and thus informed her of the limit. Here's the cast.
AC lady.
Assistant manager.
Other lady.
Miss, it's a limit of 1 AC per customer.
Really? Well, where's the sign? I didn't see no such thing.
Assistant manager proceeds to show her the sign and the flyer that says Limit 1.
Well, I need both. If that's the case, then I'm just gonna come back later when you're not here. Or I'll send my husband to get the other one.
While AC lady and assistant manager are arguing, other lady comes up to ask assistant manager a question.
Excuse me? Do you have any more air conditioners?
Sure.
He proceeds to take the second AC out of AC lady's cart.
Here you go.
Man, I wish I was there to see AC lady's face. People who hoard sale items are really mean, because a lot of people like sales, man. Don't be like that lady. Be like assistant manager and try to be fair with the sale items. Everyone wants it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out Daily Dose of Memes and all that jazz. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.